Most developers are running Claude Code at maybe 5% of its real power. Today I am showing you 12 skills that fix that. These are not toys. One of these repositories has 191,000 stars. Stick around, because number 5 gives Claude an actual long-term memory. Here is the deal. Claude Code skills are instruction packs that teach Claude new behaviors. Think of them as plugins for its brain. In this video, I rank the 12 best skills by real-world impact. We are covering coding discipline, UI design, browser automation, sandboxed execution, persistent memory, and full agile workflows. Every single one is free and open source. Links are in the description. This is stack-proof, engineering decisions, backed by data. Let's go. Number 1. The Karpathy-inspired Claude Code Guidelines. You can find this at github.com/multica-ai/Andrej-Karpathy-skills. 191,000 stars, nearly 20,000 forks. This is the most starred skill on the list. So what is it? It is a single Claude the 1000th D file that rewires how Claude approaches code. It enforces 4 principles: think before coding, simplicity first, surgical changes, and goal-driven execution. Andrej Karpathy documented the classic failure modes of large language models writing code: silent wrong assumptions, overcomplicated abstractions, helpful edits that quietly break things. This file targets every one of those failure modes directly. With this skill loaded, Claude surfaces its assumptions instead of guessing. It biases towards simple, test-driven solutions instead of speculative architecture. The result is dramatically fewer subtle logic bugs in long-running codebases. Setup is one command. You curl the file into your project root and you are done. If you install only one skill from this video, make it this one. Number 2. UI/UX Pro Max. Find it at github.com/nextlevelbuilder/UI-UX-pro-max-skill. 96,000 stars and over 10,000 forks. Here is the problem it solves. Ask Claude to build a landing page, and you know what you get. A generic purple gradient. Ad hoc components. The same design everyone else gets. This skill gives Claude a full design intelligence engine. 161 product type reasoning rules. 67 UI styles. 161 color palettes. 57 font pairings. 25 chart types, plus stack-specific guidance for every major framework. Instead of inventing styles from scratch, Claude reasons hierarchically from a curated design knowledge base. It knows industry-specific patterns, it knows the anti-patterns to avoid, and it stays consistent across sessions. This works for landing pages, SaaS marketing sites, dashboards, and mobile apps. That includes React Native, Flutter, and Swift UI. It even enforces accessibility standards. Install it through the Claude Code Marketplace or with the IPRO CLI tool. If you ship anything with a front end, this one pays for itself immediately. Number 3. Agent Browser from Vercel Labs. Dat Afomen, that is github.com/vercel-labs/agent-browser. This one gives Claude actual hands on the internet. It is a fast native Rust CLI that controls Chrome through the Chrome DevTools protocol. Claude can navigate pages, fill forms, click buttons, take screenshots, scrape data, and test your web apps. And here's the clever part. It does not feed Claude raw HTML. It uses structured accessibility tree snapshots instead. Claude reasons over semantic locators like role, label, and text. Not a messy soup of div tags. That means far more reliable automation. It also uses typed MCP tool commands, so Claude picks from safe, constrained browser actions instead of writing free-form scripts that break. Use this for end-to-end browser testing, automating repetitive browser tasks, scraping documentation sites, or visual QA with annotated screenshots baked right into your workflow. Setup takes 2 steps. Install globally with npm, then wire it into your MCP config. This one is marked advanced, but the payoff is huge. Number 4. The Agent Sandbox skill, built on E2B sandboxes. Find it at github.com/disler/agent-sandbox-skill. Smaller star count, but silver ranked in the skills marketplaces, and it solves a scary problem. Running AI-generated code directly on your machine is a risk. One bad command can ruin your day. This skill teaches Claude to manage isolated execution environments in the cloud. Claude can safely run code, scaffold entire full-stack apps, host them, and run browser tests. All inside a gated sandbox, never on your local machine. We are talking full prototypes, Vue on the front end, fast API on the back end, SQLite for data. Here is why this matters. Claude alone cannot provision sandboxed environments. This skill gives it a structured CLI to run, plan, build, host, and test cycles with real error handling. Use it for untrusted code, rapid full-stack prototypes, and automated browser UI testing. Setup is simple. Clone the repository, drop your E2B API key into a .env file, and use the / commands. High-risk operations moved completely off your machine. That is the whole pitch. Number 5. This is the one I teased at the start. Supermemory That is github.com/supermemory AI/supermemory, 28,000 stars, and it ranks number 1 on 3 memory benchmarks: Long Mem Eval, Locomo, and ConvoMem. This is a state-of-the-art memory engine for Claude. Here is the core problem. Claude has short-term context only. Every new session, it forgets who you are. Supermemory fixes that. It automatically extracts facts from your conversations. It builds a persistent user profile. It runs hybrid search across your documents and personal context. Claude can save information, recall it later, and even forget things on command. It also handles contradictions and automatic forgetting, so the memory graph stays clean over time. The practical effect is huge. Claude starts every session already knowing your project, your stack, and your preferences. No more re-explaining your codebase every single morning. Best for long-running projects, second-brain workflows, and hybrid queries mixing docs with personal context. It even supports offline and local setups. Setup is quick. Install the plugin, connect your storage backend, and your memory graph initializes automatically. Number 6. Agile-team-workflow. Together they automate an entire agile software lifecycle, with linear integration built right in. Here's how it works. The skills are organized in 3 tiers. Orchestrators sit at the top and manage the big picture. Coordinators handle mid-level workflows. Workers execute the actual tasks. So instead of one Claude trying to hold an entire project in its head, you get a disciplined agile team structure. It covers documentation generation, epic and story decomposition with rice scoring, task management, execution, quality gates, codebase audits, even full project bootstrap. Give it a vague product scope, and it breaks the whole thing into epics, stories, and tasks, with priority scores attached. This is the skill for migrating a messy prototype into a production-ready repository, or standing up a documentation system that actually stays in sync. Setup is easy. Install it through the Claude Code plugin marketplace, and you are done. If you manage projects and not just files, this collection changes how you work. Number 7. The official Anthropic document skills, 158,000 stars, over 18,000 forks, and it comes straight from Anthropic themselves. These are the exact same skills that power document handling inside Claude.ai. Now you can run them locally in Claude Code. Here is the problem they solve. Claude cannot reliably handle Office file formats with generic prompts, Word documents, PDFs, slide decks, spreadsheets. It guesses at the structure and gets it wrong. These skills give Claude detailed structured instructions and actual scripts for every format, creating documents, editing them, extracting structured content from PDFs, even following brand guidelines. And there is a hidden bonus for developers. This repository is a masterclass in skill architecture. If you want to learn how to build robust multi-step skills yourself, read Anthropic source code. It shows you exactly how the pros structure them. Setup takes seconds. Add the Anthropic marketplace, then install the document skills with /commands. Beginner difficulty, massive payoff. This one is a no-brainer. Number 8. The multi-agent TDD skill from the Glebus skills collection. Plenty of skills. If you have ever asked Claude to do test-driven development, you know the dirty secret. It writes the tests and the implementation at the same time. Then the tests just confirm whatever the code already does. That is not TDD. That is theater. This skill fixes it with something clever. Strict phase isolation using Claude Code's task tool. Test writing, implementation, and refactoring each run in separate isolated subagents. Here is the key. The test writer never sees implementation code. The implementer never sees the original spec, only the tests. That means the tests actually define the behavior, and the implementation has to genuinely satisfy them. Red, green. Refactor. Enforced by architecture, not by hoping Claude behaves. It also runs test quality checks after the red phase. Plus, it automates regression test repair and vertical slicing. And it works across languages: Jest, Pekest, GoTest, CargoTest, RSpec, and PNUnHit. One unified orchestration layer. Setup is manual but simple. Clone the Glebus skills repository and copy the TDD folder into your Claude skills directory. For bug fix workflows where the test must reproduce the issue first, this skill is unmatched. Number 9. Present. Also from the Glebus collection. This one turns Claude into a presentation studio. It generates interactive HTML presentations with synchronized voiceover from 11 Labs, scroll reveal animations, optional AI-generated illustrations. Now, Claude can already write slide content. That is not the point. The point is that this skill teaches Claude to reason about things it normally ignores: narrative structure, audio pacing, visual density, interaction states like keyboard navigation, and reduced motion settings. It even supports 3 depth levels: executive, standard, and detailed. Same content, tuned for different audiences. The typography follows Tufte-inspired principles, so the output looks like a high-end narrative deck, not a default template. Use cases are obvious once you see it. Turn research or technical content into narrated decks for YouTube or the web. Build dual experiences with an article plus slides, or generate polished client presentations in minutes. Setup is the same pattern. Clone, copy to your skills directory, then run the /present command. If your work ever needs to be presented, this skill pays for itself the first time you use it. Number 10. The NotebookLM Skill. Google's NotebookLM is one of the best research tools on the planet, but Claude cannot talk to it until now. This skill wraps NotebookLM's CLI and Python API, which means Claude can manage notebooks, sources, chat, and artifacts entirely through natural language. And the artifact list is wild. Podcasts, videos, slide decks, quizzes, flashcards, infographics, all generated from your sources, all orchestrated by Claude. Picture this workflow. You point Claude at a folder of markdown files, PDFs, and URLs. It builds a research notebook. Then it generates a podcast summarizing the findings. Then a slide deck, all in one conversation. That is a multi-step, multimodal research pipeline, running from a single Claude Code session. The notebook context is persistent too, so your research compounds over time instead of vanishing when the session ends. Setup takes 2 steps. Install the NotebookLM Python client with pip, then clone and copy the skill. If deep research is part of your job, this is the most underrated skill on this list. Number 11. The DAI Text Humanizer. You know the writing I mean. Delve, tapestry. In today's fast-paced world, every paragraph shaped like the last one. Here is the ironic part. Asking Claude to fix AI-sounding text usually fails because Claude preserves its own cadence while rewriting. This skill breaks that loop with a research-backed framework built from analysis of 7 academic papers and more than 30 commercial detection tools. It diagnoses AI tells across 4 dimensions: structural, lexical, voice, and rhetorical. Then it removes those specific signals while preserving meaning and facts. And it does something most rewriting prompts skip. Before editing, it asks about purpose, audience, language, and register, so the output actually fits the context. It works across multiple languages too, with register awareness built in. Best uses: humanizing AI drafts for articles and technical docs, killing bureaucratic language, editing long-form content that needs to sound like a person wrote it. Setup is clone, copy to your skills directory, and run /DAI. Beginner difficulty, and honestly, one of the most practical skills here. Number 12, the Superpowers Core Skill Library by Abra. We are ending with the meta pick. This is a curated marketplace plugin bundling more than 20 battle-tested skills. It covers TDD, debugging, collaboration patterns, and my favorite part, meta workflows. Meta workflows are skills that teach Claude how to use other skills. Think about that for a second. Claude learns when to reach for a debugging skill, when to switch to TDD, when to ask you for clarification instead of guessing. It stops being a tool, it starts being a teammate with judgment. Install the library once. Every project you touch inherits the entire playbook. That is skill 12, and honestly, it might be the one that ties everything else together. Alright, let us run the recap. 12 skills. Each one compounds on the last. Skill 1 gave Claude eyes for documents. Skills 2 through 5 cleaned up your workflow. Skills 6 through 11 turned Claude into a full-stack engineer. And skill 12 made it self-improving. Stack all 12, and you are not using the same Claude everyone else is. You are running a custom build, tuned to your workflow, getting sharper every session. Now here is the deal. Every skill I showed you today is linked in the description. Repos, install commands, my exact config files. All of it, free. If this video saved you even 1 hour of setup time, hit that like button. It genuinely tells the algorithm this content is worth making. And if you want more deep dives like this, subscribe and ring the bell. I publish new Claude Code workflows every week. Next video, I am covering the skills the community begged me not to share. You will not want to miss that one. This is Stack Proof. Keep your stack clean. See you in the next one.